Before I start this video, I would like to let everyone know that I have a new Discord channel that you can join at the link provided. Let's get into the video. Highley is a village, civil, and ecclesiastical parish in the Unitary Authority of Cheshire East and the ceremonial county of Cheshire, England. It is 6 miles, 10 kilometers northwest of Knutsford, or Knutsford, however you want to say that, 7 miles, 11 kilometers east of Warrington, and 12 miles, 19 kilometers southwest of Manchester city centre. Population of the entire civil parish was estimated at 1,705 in 2019. Richard de Ley, Lord of Westhall and Highley, was born in 1160 in Highley, Cheshire, England, as a son of Lord Richard de Ley and Miss Rich de Ley. He married Marjorie Outrighton about 1204. They were the parents of at least one daughter. He died in 1250 in Highley, Cheshire, England, United Kingdom, at the age of 90. So, ignoring the absolutely terrible historical account there, especially considering those places and names probably are inaccurate to the time period, and also notice the wording at least one daughter, and also the misspelling or different spelling of delay, where you have it unified in Miss Rich Delay. And yeah, so anyway, that's obviously written by a idiot. But the Lay name is important to this video. Lay High School is a secondary school located in West San Jose region of San Jose, California, United States. Opening in September 1962, it was the fifth school established in the Campbell Union High School District. The school has twice been given the California Distinguished School Award in 1990 and 2003. As of 2020, the school's enrollment was 809 students. The school colors are gold, yellow, and pine green, and its mascot is the Longhorn. In the same area, we have the Enlightened Enrichment School. Is well-established after-school program for elementary school students in the Los Gatos, Campbell, San Jose, Cambrian, and Almedan districts. The school offers a variety of different courses and special classes, particularly in the fields of Chinese language and culture. Then, when we start looking at business holdings, we find a pattern unfold. In the United Kingdom, there is the Inhoko 3454 Limited Company, which was changed to Lay Holdings Limited on the 22nd of April 2008. And if we go to Delaware, we find the Lay Family Holdings LLC, with Resident Agents Incorporated, 8th Green Street, R, Dover, Delaware, County of Kent. Next, we have Lay International Ltd. Notice Ltd is limited, stands for limited, and then that's particularly the UK form of LLC, as so far as I'm aware. This is located with Incorporated Services Ltd., DuPont Highway, Dover, Kent. So it's interesting that their address is off of a highway. In the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, we have the Lay Holdings LLC, which states servicing clients with both commercial and residential real estate needs as a licensed sales agent. Listed Samantha Ori. And when we look down, it says Samantha Lay Ori. In Tampa, Florida, we have the Lay Holdings LLC doing business as Ouroboros Group. Richard Tannenbaum listed. Then we have Lay International Corp. This is in Aventura, Florida, and it stipulates any and all lawful business with registered agent John G. Demio. In Virginia, there is Lay Holdings LLC, and this has registered agent with the Richard S. Gordon from Tanner, Mulkey, Gordon, and Lawler P.C., attorneys at law. At West Palm Beach, Florida, we have Lay Holdings Corp., any and all lawful business with a different registered agent from the first rendition of Lay Holdings Corp., and this is Jennifer L. Ruthier. And notice that the address of the registered agent is the same as the address of the business, which is the same with the other Lay Holdings Corp. In Florida. In Ohio, we have Lay Holdings LLC, David Carroll, and the address is Bailey Cavalieri LLC, which is, I believe, a law firm and has popped up in other business filings that I've looked at in other videos. In Texas, we have the Richard Lay, registered agent for Lay Holdings LLC, and the registered address is listed here as the same of the mailing address for business. Now, when we look at old newspapers, something very strange starts happening. You'll notice in the search results, Lay Valley Files is listed. But on the newspaper itself, allegedly, the writing is Lehigh Valley Files. And this apparently is a newspaper from 1897. So there's something going on there because there's no reason why in the search bar Lehigh Valley Files should pop up for an old newspaper that has listed Lehigh. So either somebody made a clerical error, which is possible, or something else is going on. From a different newspaper, the Railroad Gazette, from 1880, we find a similar occurrence where in the search parameters you find Lehigh Valley, but in the alleged newspaper itself you find Lehigh Valley. There's something wrong there. There's no reason why you should have two of the same clerical errors concerning the same name in two different separate newspapers. Something would be possible, but the evidence would suggest at least that perhaps something was changed on the digital copy of the newspaper after the newspaper itself was logged, thus meaning that somebody could put in a search parameters and get this other name, but if they put in, say, Lehigh into the search parameters, it would turn up nothing. So that's interesting. Now we also find some other interesting elements of note with this name. In the Martindale-Hubbell Law Directory 2009, you have a reference to Raleigh office. That's Raw with an equal sign between it, Lay, and office. Raleigh, of course, being the name of a city in North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina. And you have a large number of lawyers with Lay in their name somewhere located, and then you have reference to the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs. Also, you have an individual called Laura Leigh Mueller, who apparently was admitted to the bar in North Carolina, and that's out of LaGrange, Texas. Also, interesting enough, the last name Mueller also fits with a large number of corrupt individuals leading back to a certain Cardinal Mueller out of Germany. In the Street Railway Journal of the alleged publication date of 1884, we find the Lehigh Valley Transit Company. However, if you were to search that in Google, it would change the results to the Lehigh Valley Transit Company. Additionally, in lawyers' reports annotated, this document from allegedly 1827 1895 cites the Lehigh Valley Coal Company, Portance v. Lehigh Valley Coal Company. Now, there can't be that many court case dockets which specifically refer to Portance v. Lehigh Valley Coal Company, or Lee, how some people pronounce it Lee. Whereas, again, if you search it in Google, it will change it to Lehigh Valley Coal Company, Portance v. That's suspicious, to say the least. Some other ways that we can look at patterns is through the seal of Lehigh County in Pennsylvania. You will notice the blue shield, the gold coloring, the gold cross, and the red heart design up on the top. Of course, you've got the flag with the seal. next to the U.S. flag. And also remember that the colors of the Lay High School in San Jose, California are gold and green. The shield of Lay West Hall is a gold shield with a red lion on it, and the Lay of East Hall is a white shield with a red lion on it. When we look at the Lehigh Valley Health Network, we will find this spiral logo, the color spectrum of light blue, dark blue, and green. When we look at People's Bank, we will find a spiral logo, 3 parts, just like with the Lehigh Health Network. This one is blue, green, and gray, whereas People's Bank is blue People's and green Bank with the green line. When we look at Park National Bank, we find a spiral with P and the colors of light blue, darker blue, and green. Actually, there's about 3 shades of blue there. And then, of course, the name itself is in white on this example. Now, the history, Park National Bank was founded in July 1908 under the name the Park National Bank of Newark. This organization changed its name to Park National Bank in 1971, shortly after acquiring the People's State Bank. The company then acquired the Utica Savings Bank Company in 1973, followed by the Fairfield National Bank of Lancaster. During the housing crisis of the early 2000s, Park National acquired 9 other banks in a 3-year period. Most of these acquisitions happened within the 2008 fiscal year, which was the peak of the crisis. The company managed to acquire 7 different banks in 2008. The next acquisition for the corporation was New Dominion Bank, which brought Park National Bank into the North Carolina area. One of their affiliates has also recently announced plans to build a location in Kentucky. Carolina Alliance Bank was the latest bank to join the organization, expanding the region into South Carolina. The Park National family of banks is now operating in 28 counties in Ohio, 1 in Kentucky, 1 in North Carolina, and 2 in South Carolina. There are 110 branches located in Ohio. At the beginning of 2020, Park National Bank changed the names of all affiliate banks to Park National Bank. Chairman and CEO David Troutman reported that unifying the various affiliates under one name allows for a smart, steady growth with expanded resources to better serve the customers, services, and employees did not change. However, a new, more modern logo was chosen using colors from some of the affiliate banks' brands. Affiliates now consolidated under the Park National Bank name. Fairfield National Bank. This affiliate started with the acquisition of the Fairfield National Bank of Lancaster in 1985. Fairfield National has 9 branches. The main branch is in downtown Lancaster. They have locations in Lancaster, Baltimore, Pickerington, and Canal Winchester. The president of this division is Laura Tussing. Park National Bank, Southwest Ohio and Northern Kentucky. This affiliate started with the acquisition of First Claremont Bank and Anderson Bank Company in 2005. Park National Bank Southwest Ohio and Northern Kentucky has 8 branches, with Eastgate being classified as the main branch. They have locations in Milford, Westchester, Owensville, New Richmond, Eastgate, Ohio Pike, Rookwood, and Anderson. The president of this division is Dave Gook, who started off with the company in Newark, Ohio. Park National Bank Division. Park National Bank Southwest Ohio and Northern Kentucky is currently expanding with plans of adding a new branch in Louisville, Kentucky. United Bank. This affiliate started with the acquisition of United Bank National Association in 2008. United Bank has 6 branches. The main branch is in Bucyrus. They have locations in Bucyrus, Galion, Caledonia, and Crestline. President of this division is Donald Stone, who doubles as a commercial lender as well. First Knox National Bank. The affiliate started with the acquisition of First Knox National Bank in 2008. First Knox National has 13 branches. The main branch is in Mount Vernon. They have locations in 3 of which are located in Mount Vernon, Fredericktown, Loudounville, originally Farmers and Savings Bank, Millersburg, Centerburg, Mount Gilead, and Danville. The president of the First Knox Division is Bob Boss. The main branch is located in Mount Vernon on Public Square and South Main Street, home First Knox National Bank. Richland Bank. This affiliate started with the acquisition of the Richland Trust Company in 2008. Richland has 10 branches. The main branch is in Mansfield. They have locations in Mansfield, Ontario, Lexington, and Shelby. The president of this division is Chris Heiner, who is on half of their executive team. The other member of the executive team is Frank Wagner, who is the executive vice president and a commercial lender. Or maybe that's Frank Wagner. Second National Bank. The affiliate started with the acquisition of Second National Bank in 2008. Second National has 7 branches. The main branch is in Greenville. They have locations in Greenville, Arcanum, Versailles, and Fort Recovery. The president of this division is John Swallow, who started with the organization in Newark, Ohio. Security National Bank. This affiliate started with the acquisition of the Security National Bank and Trust Company in 2001. Security National has 18 branches. The main branch is in downtown Springfield. They have locations in Champaign, Clark, and Greene counties. The president of this division is John Brown. This affiliate has the most branches out of every division that isn't included in the main company, Park National Bank. Unity National Bank. This affiliate started off with the Bank Investing in Citizens National Bank of Urbana. 2008, Unity National has 6 branches. The main branch is in Pequot. They have locations in Pequot, Troy, and Tip City. President of this division that's repeated, is Scott Resor. Unity is the smallest affiliate that Park National family of banks has. Yeah, it's a family, right? It's just like when a corporation tells all of their underpaid and abused employees that they're all part of one big family. Century National Bank. This affiliate started off with the acquisition of Century National Bank in 2008. Century National has 18 branches. The main branch is in Zanesville. They have locations in Zanesville, Dresden, New Concord, New Lexington, and Coshocton. President of this division is Pat Nash. Century National has 18 branches. However, the branches are closer to each other, and all of these names, at least of the people that allegedly run these, they all sound fake. I wonder if they're real people. Now, PNC is a product of a merger of 2 Pennsylvania banks in 1983, Pittsburgh National Corporation and Provident National Corporation. Each of these banks have served diverse markets and dates back to the 1850s. Learn how PNC evolved from a local bank to a national leader in banking and financial services. And as always, the connection here appears to go back to Pennsylvania in all cases. Now, for those of that are aware of the Allentown State Hospital, at least that's what it's called now, apparently, this document would be important. It is the State of Pennsylvania Lunacy Law of 1883, as amended by the Act of May 7, 1889, and is further amended by a supplement passed to the General Assembly of 1893. An act to provide for the better protection of female insane patients in transit, the same as amended by the Act of May 27, 1897. An amendment to an act to provide for the commitment of persons habitually addicted to the use of alcohol, drugs, etc. An act authorizing the Committee on Lunacy to transfer inmates from one state hospital to another state hospital for the insane. An act to provide for the protection of insane persons, etc., and the appointment of a guardian, and an act to provide for the employment of the insane. Yeah, they do love that word there, protection. Protection from whom? And from what? Committee on Lunacy, Isaac Johnson, Media Chairman. George W. Ryan, Shamokin. Patrick C. Boyle, Oil City. Cyrus B. King, MD, Allegheny. Edward K. Rowland, Philadelphia. J. Nicholas Mitchell, MD, Philadelphia, Secretary. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Harrisburg Publishing Company, State Printer, 1907. An act to authorize and provide for the commitment of persons habitually addicted to the use of alcoholic drink or intoxicating drugs to a proper hospital or asylum for restraint, care, and treatment. Section 1, be it enacted, etc., that from and after the passage of this act it shall be lawful for any person so habitually addicted to the use of alcoholic drink, absinthe, opium, morphine, chloral, or other intoxicating liquor or drug as to be a proper subject for restraint, care, and treatment in a hospital or asylum, or for at least 2 persons being the wife, husband, parent, child, children, or next friend of such person to apply for by petition to the Court of Quarter Sessions, or to any magistrate or justice of the peace of the proper county, setting forth the facts upon oath and requesting the commitment of such person to a proper hospital or asylum for restraint, care, and treatment, and such petition shall be accompanied by the affidavit of at least 2 physicians based on examination by them of the alleged drunkard, setting forth the condition of such person, and stating that, in their opinion, restraint, care, and treatment in a hospital or asylum would be a benefit to such person, whereupon the said court, magistrate, or justice shall issue a warrant, right, a warrant, to bring before them on the day certain the petitioner, both physicians, and the alleged drunkard, and a hearing shall then be held, and if the facts set forth in the petition and affidavits are proved to be satisfactory of the judge, magistrate, or justice, it shall be the duty of the court to commit such alleged drunkard to a proper hospital or asylum for restraint, care, and treatment, until upon further hearing the said court, magistrate, or justice shall be satisfied that such restraint, care, and treatment are no longer beneficial to the person committed as aforesaid, provided that such restraint shall not be continued in any case for a longer period than 1 year, and provided that no person shall be committed under the provisions of this act or admitted into any hospital or asylum until payment has been made, right, till payment has been made or security has been given to the managers of the hospital or asylum satisfactory to them to pay the proper charges for the board, care, and treatment of the alleged drunkard, and also to indemnify such managers from all costs and expense, and provide that all commitments under this act shall be reviewable by proceedings under writ of habeas corpus, which may be sued out at any time by any person restrained hereby or by anyone acting or on behalf of such person. Doesn't that sound like a criminal edict that violates the Constitution in many ways? Haven't seen that one before. Hint, hint, 2020. An act to amend an act entitled An Act to Authorize and Provide for the Commitment of Persons Habitually Addicted to Use of Alcoholic Drink or Intoxicated Drugs to a Proper Hospital or Asylum for Restraint, Care, and Treatment, approved April 16, Anno Domini 1903, providing for the commitment of persons habitually addicted to the use of alcoholic drink or intoxicated drugs to a proper hospital or asylum for restraint, care, and treatment by the Court of Quarter Sessions. Now notice that date right there. Anno Domini 1903. Section 1 being enacted, etc., that the section of an act approved April 16th, Anno Domini 1903, entitled An Act to Authorize and Provide for the Commitment of Persons Habitually Addicted to the Use of Alcoholic Drink or Intoxicated Drugs to Proper Hospital or Asylum for Restraint, Care, and Treatment, which reads as follows. Now, in a different part, it states an act to provide for the protection of insane persons, feeble-minded persons, and epileptics, and the appointment of a guardian for the said insane persons, feeble-minded persons, and epileptics, and able to care for their own property, authorizing the guardian to support the wife and children of the said insane persons, feeble-minded persons, and epileptics, defining the powers of the guardian and authorizing the sale of real estate of the ward. That's important to note there. Now, what exactly were those businesses involved in again? Section 1 being enacted, etc., that whenever hereafter any person being a resident of the state shall become insane or feeble-minded or epileptic, or so mentally defective that he or she is unable to take care of his or her property, and in consequence thereof is liable to dissipate or lose the same and to become the victim of designing persons, it shall be lawful for either the mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, child, next of kin, creditor, right? Or in the absence of such persons or their inability, any other person, to present to the Court of Common Pleas for the county in which said person to be cared for resides, his or her petition under oath setting forth the facts, praying the court to adjudge such person to be unable to take care of his or her property and to appoint a guardian for the state of such person. Wonder who that guardian would be. Ha ha ha. Section 2. Thereupon it shall be the duty of the court to fix a day for the hearing on such application, and direct that 10 days written notice thereof be given to the person against whom the petition is presented, and also to the other members of his or her family residing within the jurisdiction. And if such person or persons cannot be found, then by notice by such publication as the court may think proper. Section 3. Upon the day fixed for the hearing, the court shall require the presence of the person against whom the petition is presented, unless there is positive testimony to the effect that such person cannot be brought into court with safety to him or herself. Notice the criminality in that one. If you do not comply with us, then we will force you to comply. Essentially, your absence is acquiescence or whatever. They always play that game. At such hearing, the court shall take the testimony of all the parties in interest and of such other witnesses as the petitioner and the persons against whom proceedings are instituted, or any member of his or her family he or she may see fit to summon, on the question of the inability of the person against whom the proceedings are taken to care for his or her property because of mental deficiency. Notice, of course, their focus on the property. That is what they want here. If the court on such hearing shall be satisfied that the person against whom the proceedings are taken is not able, owing to insanity or weakness of mind, to take care of his or her property, then it shall be the duty of the court to decide and enter a decree accordingly and appoint a guardian to take care of the same. Section 4. If the person against whom the proceedings are taken shall demand in writing, prior to the decision of the court on such application trial by jury, it shall thereupon be the duty of the said court to award an issue framed to determine the question of fact involved, and such trial shall be granted. Now notice they're using words from the Constitution, and they're using certain things from the Constitution. They are charging the crime of the things listed before: feeble-mindedness, insanity, etc. So it's interesting how they run this stuff. And it's completely criminal, and it's done. One hand washes the other through the fraudulent court system of today that is essentially just a bank. To steal people's land, of course. That's their main target here in this section. Section 5. From and after decree that the person against whom the same is entered is insane or so weak in mind that he or she is unable to take care of his or her own property, said person shall be wholly incapable of making any contract or gift whatever, or any instrument in writing, and the entry of such a decree shall be notice of such incapacity, and said person shall be a ward of the court appointing such guardian. Section 6. The guardian so appointed shall have precisely the same powers and the subject to the same duties as a committee on lunacy in the state of Pennsylvania. The court appointing such guardian shall have full power over the same in directing and allowing for the said warden for the support and maintenance of his wife or his or her children and the education of his or her minor children, and shall enter a decree of sale, mortgaging, leasing of conveyance upon ground rent of the real estate or any part thereof of the same said ward, whenever in the opinion that a court is necessary for the support and maintenance of said ward or his family, or the education of his or her minor children, or the payment of his or her debts, or where it is for the interest and advantage of the said ward that the same shall be sold, mortgaged, leased, or let on ground rent, and all absolute sales in free sample, except as hereinafter provided, shall be by public sale or vendue. That's an interesting word there, vendue, and may be either entirely for cash or partly on credit, and after full advertisement for at least 20 days by handbills, posted in at least 20 of the most public places in the city or county where the said premises shall be situated, and in at least 2 newspapers not less than 3 times in each, provided that if the court shall be of the opinion that under the circumstances a better price can be obtained by a private sale than a public sale, the court may decree and approve the same. One has to wonder how many of those private sales were given to the particular family name mentioned, Lay. Such sale, mortgage, leasing, and letting on ground rent shall be upon terms and rates to be approved by the court. When the said real estate is situated in the same county in which the said person shall reside, or in another county or counties, and the court shall be satisfied of the propriety of the sale, mortgaging, or leasing, or letting on ground rent upon such real estate, or any part thereof, not within their jurisdiction, it shall be lawful for such court to make an order or decree authorizing such guardian to sell, mortgage, lease, or let on ground rent all the real estate of the ward, or so much thereof as the court may think necessary as it may designate. Now notice, of course, as usual, they are not actually referencing where they derive the constitutional authority from to do this, because they, in fact, are enemies of the Constitution, the people doing this stuff, and who continue to do it today. Thereupon it shall be the duty of the Court of Common Pleas of the county, wherein the real estate so designated is situated, upon the petition of such guardian, to make an order for the sale, mortgaging, leasing, or letting upon ground rent of said real estate, or so much thereof as the court appointing said guardian by its order shall designate, and such guardian shall in all cases make a return of his proceedings to the said court in the county in which the real estate was sold, mortgaged, leased, or let upon ground rent shall be found only. If the same be approved by the court, it shall be confirmed, and said guardian shall make a return of said proceedings to the court by which said guardian was appointed. The said guardian shall give such bonds and file such accounts at such periods as the court shall determine. Section 7. If at any time after the decree has been entered, the person against whom such proceedings are taken shall become able to care for his or her property, he or she, or any of his or her family or next of kin may petition the court setting forth such fact, and after hearing of which due notice shall be given to such person so afflicted, and to all members of the family and next of kin of the said person. If the court shall find that the said person so afflicted has regained the ability to care for his or her property, the court shall so decree and shall discharge the guardian, and thereupon the said person shall be, so far as the care of his or her property or person shall be concerned, for the future the same as if the proceedings against him or her had never been taken. Yeah, right. Section 8. Any person aggrieved by the final decree of the Courts of Common Pleas may, within 3 months from the time of the entry of said decree, appeal to the Superior Court of the state, and such court may confirm, reverse, or modify the decree entered in the lower court. Section 9. All acts or parts of acts inconsistent herewith and the same are hereby repealed. Approved 20th day of May, A.D. 1907, Edwin S. Stewart. An act authorizing and empowering the Committee on Lunacy to transfer inmates from one state hospital for the insane to another state hospital for the insane. Section 1 be it enacted, etc., that the Committee on Lunacy are hereby authorized and empowered in their discretion, upon being satisfied that any of the state hospitals for the insane are overcrowded, to transfer patients or inmates from one state hospital for the insane to another. That the cost of such transfers shall be paid out of the general appropriation for the care of the insane, and upon certificate of the Committee on Lunacy that such transfer has been made. and of its cost. Section 3. The municipalities or persons liable to the institutions in which the commitment was made shall, after this transfer, be liable to the state hospital for the insane to which such transfer shall be approved. Signed, same person, same date. Actually, not the same date. First day of May. Now, here's the kicker. This is where we get into slave labor by another name. An act to provide for the employment of the insane, feeble-minded, and epileptic persons confined in institutions wholly or in part maintained by the state for the care and treatment of the insane, feeble-minded, and epileptic person, and providing for the distribution of supplies, manufactured articles, goods, and products made in state institutions for the care of the insane, feeble-minded, and epileptic persons. Whereas from the testimony taken by the commission appointed by the legislature of Pennsylvania under joint resolution on the 18th of April 1905, entitled A Joint Resolution Created Commission to Investigate Various Charitable Institutions, etc., for the investigation of the management of state hospitals and institutions for the care and treatment of the insane, appears that both physical and mental conditions of the inmates are improved when they are given employment. Yes, of course they would find that, considering that's exactly what they want, is free labor. And whereas it also appears that some of the inmates who are given employment on the farms connected with the state institutions and in and about the same are much improved in body, mind, and whereas it appears that the greater number of the inmates of the said institutions are, however, kept in idleness because there is no employment that they can be given. It is therefore recommended by the commission above mentioned, appointed by your honorable body, that means be devised whereby the inmates of the said institutions may be given employment and their condition thereby improved, and for that purpose the above mentioned commission respectfully recommends the enactment by your honorable body of an act entitled An Act to Provide for the Employment of the Insane, Feeble-Minded, and Epileptic Insane Persons Contained or Confined in Institutions wholly or in part maintained by the state for the care and treatment of the insane, feeble-minded, and epileptic persons, and providing for the distribution of the supplies, manufactured articles, goods, and products made in state institutions for the care of the insane, feeble-minded, and epileptic persons. Section 1. Be it enacted, etc., that from and after the passage of this act, all inmates of any institution or hospital which is wholly or in part maintained by the state for the care and treatment of the insane, feeble-minded, and epileptic persons may make, manufacture, or produce such supplies, manufactured articles, goods, and products as may be used in any of the state hospitals or institutions. Yes, and I'm sure that there's no monetary gain that comes from that. Section 2. All the supplies, manufactured goods, and products so made, manufactured, or produced in institutions or hospitals shall bear the stamp giving the full name or title of the institutions wherein said article is made, manufactured, or produced. Section 3. Supplies, manufactured articles, goods, and products so made, manufactured, or produced shall not be sold or exchanged to any person, firm, co-partnership, unincorporated association, or corporation, but same may be made subject to sale or exchange to any institution within the confines of the Commonwealth, which is maintained by the state wholly or in part wherein the insane, feeble-minded, and epileptic persons are confined. Section 4. Any trustee, manager, or superintendent, or other person connected with the management and control of any institution for the care and treatment of the insane, feeble-minded, or epileptic, and who shall violate any of the provisions of this act by permitting any supplies, manufactured articles, goods, or products to be sold or exchanged in any other way except as herein provided shall be guilty of a misdemeanor, and on conviction shall be sentenced to pay a fine of not more than $500 at the discretion of the court. Section 5. All laws or parts of laws inconsistent herewith shall be, and the same are repealed. Thank you. If you have enjoyed this video, please like it, share it, subscribe to my channels, check out my other content, and there are free books available at the links. And if you so desire, you may support my work at any of the options available: Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you.